Hi, this is Sarita Roche, and you have reached La Roche Art. I have dug into my ugly pile of paintings, and I would like to reimagine this painting. So let us go together and make a beautiful mess. I'm a fan of Floetrol in general, but I have this nice big gallon of Liquitex pouring medium in gloss. I'm going to mix it with these paints. They're all a little bit different consistency, so the ones that are thinner add more, the ones that are thicker add less. I want a nice pastel, pink, purple kind of painting. I just filled these cups with some Liquitex, and without recipe, I just put in my paint right there. Each one has a little glob, and my trusty assistant is here to help me mix it all up. She asked for a pink and purple painting for her bedroom, so these are the colors that we picked. We came out with some really pretty colors. They look like they should be on a birthday cake. This is the consistency. It's on the thicker side because this is pure Liquitex. You can see it makes a little mound there. It was maybe a little too much on the thick side. This purple definitely was too thick, and I did add a little bit of water to it. I think in the future I might have added a little water to all of them, but they were just so yummy. They looked like frosting, so I really just wanted to try to do pure Liquitex. And I have a gold, I have a color shift, and I have these lovely pinks. So right here in my cup, I'm going to make some layers. The first thing I put is my 24 karat gold. That is one of my heavy hitters. If you have a color that you're really inspired by, that you really want to be the focal point of your painting, put it in your cup first. Everything that is in your cup first is what is going to be right smack dab in the middle of your painting, because it's going to come out of the cup last. It will land right on top of all the other paint, and oftentimes that's going to be the majority of your painting. So that little 1.5 inches right there is what is going to make up the interest for your painting. So I usually try to put smaller layers, and then as I'm adding more layers, I can make them bigger, because the last fourth of your cup is going to be sacrificial paint that will most likely end up over the edge. And I actually regret using that beautiful color shift paint and that gold paint you see right up there on top in my last part of my cup, because it's just going to go right over the edge. So I plan to just do a straight pour, nothing fancy. Get my beautiful peach and yellow creation here, and I'm just going to pour it on. I did a little bit of circling, I did a little bit of shaking. I just wanted to play with it, nothing very technical here. And you will see I moved a lot, so all of those colors that I was mentioning that are in the very bottom of my cup, those all got kind of moved around in little stripes. And as I stretch it, you're going to see that that takes up a significant portion of the composition. See right there, that little center part? That's going to be the bulk of the composition. So one thing that I was a little bit upset about, and you can see here, is the colors have very similar value. I thought that the turquoise I chose would be dark enough to really represent a dark, and that the lightest pink I had would be my light. You always want a dark and a light. Lights for highlights, darks for shadows. When I'm doing a pastel painting like this one, it can be a little bit hard to not stick to all the same value, because they all look so yummy together. So I thought that I had gone dark enough and light enough, but I will tell you, I don't think that I did. I think that I needed to have something in the mix, maybe even a fuchsia, something that really stood out bold, and probably white for highlights. So you can see here how they all just kind of flowed together, and all those little spots where I was moving the cup around at the very end, that's taking up a good 2/3 of the canvas here. So keep that in mind when you are moving the paint around and when you're filling your cup. So as I was looking at this, even though it's pretty and I definitely like a pastel rainbow, I just didn't think it had enough to be a standalone piece. If I was planning to paint something else, it would be fine. So off camera, I filled this little cup with the remainder of all of the paints that I still had laying around, and I really scraped out those cups as much as I could. You can see here, I just scraped every little last bit that I could get out of it. And I also made one lighter shade of pink. I actually just put white into a pink cup, and so the pink is actually just the remainder of the pink that was in the cup. And then I added it to the flip cup. So I'm just gonna flip it right there in the center and see if we can get some more interest. But before I do that, let me just show you what the raw painting looked like when I stretched it. You can see the purple is really showing up. It's actually showing up more as my dark than the turquoise, or maybe I just didn't add enough turquoise. I really wish that I had some stronger pink in there, since my daughter did say pink and purple. So 1, 2, 3, let's flip it, boom. And there wasn't a whole lot of paint. And honestly, Liquitex is a much tackier paint, so it's drying faster than if I was using Floetrol. I let it drip because I didn't use any silicone, so this is kind of giving me some faux cells from all those drips. Just wanted to see if it was still wet enough for it to accept this little bit of paint, see if I could stretch that in there. As I stretch, you are definitely going to see the edge of the weight of the paint. That is not a good sign. That shows me that it was on the verge of drying and it was really having a hard time. So you can see that very definite edge. And so I knew that I didn't have a whole lot more time to fiddle. With Floetrol, if you use Floetrol, you know you have a lot more time because it's a lot more wet. This Liquitex, it's much more tacky. I always wear gloves because it's so tacky. And you can also see maybe I didn't have enough paint because look at these striations. That shows me that the paint got extra stretched when I see that. It's not always my favorite look. If you have enough paint, it won't look like that. But I did see that that little blob that I added, it kind of looked like a fairy wing or a butterfly wing. And I thought, well, I don't know, am I good enough artist to maybe add a little fairy? So I went and I got myself a nice darker purple. I have this great violet gray that comes from the Shades of Gray series. I actually did an entire collection of paintings just with the shades of gray. I will put a link for that in the description. This violet gray is a really, really lovely color. I've used it in all kinds of paintings. So I thought, because I had not originally added a dark, and that was a mistake, like a true dark, this would be my dark. This would be the interest in movement that I was not getting from the original pour. So just using my popsicle stick, I put little blobs and little strings of paint right on top of the puddle of paint and tried to suggest that there was some kind of a creature. Maybe it was a fairy, maybe it was an insect. I still wanted it to keep it abstract, but I was having some trouble. I won't lie. If you've done enough fluid art, you know that as paint has different weights, and some paint will sink, some paint will come up. That's part of why we get cells. And in this particular case, because I didn't add very much Liquitex to the paint to make it liquid, I just put enough so I could make it a little bit wet and move it around with my popsicle stick. I think it was much heavier than the rest of the paint, and it wanted to just sink right in. And so I would make something and I would sink right in. And I used my straw to kind of blow it around so it would stay on top of the column of paint. And that worked a little bit, but it took much, much longer than I expected. And I actually added maybe too much paint, which can be dangerous in fluid art because it doesn't always dry well if there's too much paint. But luckily with Liquitex, because it is a professional pouring medium on the more expensive side, it doesn't lend itself to cracking, usually. And I was hoping that that would be the case as I continued to add paint to try to make this fairy turn into something. And unfortunately, as the paint kept dripping off the sides, as it will, the composition changes and it pulls paint, and my fairy kept getting pulled, and so her face kept changing. Every time I thought I had something that looked like something, I would come back 5 minutes later and not only had the paint dried more, but the fairy had disappeared more. So I don't know if this is something that I would suggest, but if you're not afraid and you just want to have fun with it and just, mess around, for sure, give it a go. So I did end up adding quite a bit of the purple. You don't see all of that on camera because I kept walking away and trying to figure out if this was a worthy pursuit, if I should just leave it, let it look like a dark purple blob. No one would know what I was even trying to do originally. But I'm really happy that I took the chance, because you can see just looking at this, the dark really pops out against all of those soft pastel colors, and nothing else pops out. So it was lacking something that says, here I am, here's the point of this painting. And I'm not saying that a beautiful background isn't worthy, but in this case, I just don't think that it was enough. So after I fiddled and I lost my fairy face about 5 times, this is kind of where it was going. You can see her face is there. She kind of has a crown. Her neck was too skinny. I kept losing the poor lady's neck, and she kept having a very pinched nose. Then she turned into a penguin, and I thought the whole thing was just lost. But this is what I ended up with. I don't know if you like it, but I think it's kind of cool. You can definitely see that there's a lady there, and she pops right off of the canvas. So I don't know. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. This is Sarita Laroche. This is my beautiful mess for the day, and you can always find me at SaritaLaroche.com. Keep making a beautiful mess.